These people are the absolute scum of the earth. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Today's video is about another hoax, another blatant, bold-faced, foul lie coming from one of the worst, dishonest, deceitful individuals to ever enter the political realm in American history, Kamala Harris, and the entire cabal, DNC-backed propagandist activists. They're not journalists, they're activists. Media fake news machine that is backing her. They're now coming after Donald Trump. Actually, the Arizona Attorney General is opening up an investigation. I've got so much to share with you over these comments right here. Watch the president.
And Cheney was so, he said, I really want to thank you. He said, now I'm so glad that I actually endorsed you. It's amazing, but that you would do this. And I didn't speak to him about it. But then, go a couple of years forward, ago now, and I don't blame him for sticking with his daughter, but his daughter is a very dumb individual, very dumb. She's a radical war hawk. Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it. When the guns are trained on her face. They're all war hawks when they're sitting in Washington in a nice building saying, oh, gee, let's send 10,000 troops right into the mouth of the enemy. But she's a stupid person. And I used to I'd have meetings with a lot of people, and she always wanted to go to war with people. So whether it's her, whether it's Dick, I was surprised a little bit with Dick Cheney. I didn't know him at all. I only had essentially the 1 or 2 phone calls, and it was only a call saying, thank you very much for doing that for Scooter Libby. That was nice. And Scooter Libby, by the way, was beyond, he couldn't believe that it happened. Nobody would do it. They should have done that for him years before. But I was a little surprised because I actually thought that Dick Cheney would go with me over his daughter, and he didn't. And you know what? I understand it. It's your daughter, and you go. But she's a bad person.
Abundantly clear and obvious what he's talking about right there. It's so clear. They're doing everything that, how he keeps saying in his rallies that you and I have live streamed together when he says, now watch, they're going to cut that part out and they're going to use it against me. They're going to say, oh, he's becoming unstable. Everything that he said, that this woke apparatus backed by this complete corrupt media system, the entire cabal, everything he said about them has now come true. They're cutting out clips, and now they're claiming in such a deceitful, dishonest, unbelievably callous manner, they're saying that he wants Liz Cheney to be shot in the face, when it is so obvious. What he's saying is that her and her entire family, which is 100% true, are war hawks, and they sit in their comfy homes and their smoke rooms and their mansions and their pools, and they just say, you know what, I'm just going to order a bunch of American sons and daughters to go into war so I can... They are war profiteers. It is abundantly clear if you do the research and understand that Dick Cheney and his company Halliburton became one of the largest oil contract. He made billions, not millions with a B. He made billions. He made quadruple, if not 100x generational wealth. His great to the 100th degree grandkid doesn't have to work a day in his life. And they have the audacity to clip this out and share it across all of these media outlets. And then Kamala herself even spreading this, because that's all she does. She should be known as the liar in chief. That's all she does, is spread lies, vile, and hate. Check this out.
And then, even worse, he has increased his violent rhetoric, Donald Trump has, about political opponents, and in great detail, suggested rifles should be trained on former Representative Liz Cheney. This must be disqualifying.
This is coming from the same person, the same campaign, the same entire party that has called us blatantly and directly, because it's caught on camera, garbage. Her main surrogate, Mark Cuban, who has, suffered from TDS, worse than I think anybody have ever seen. He made fun of women who support Trump as unintelligent, not bright, not smart. Anybody who's a woman who supports Trump, who doesn't support his egregious, catastrophic candidate, is not smart, not intelligent. President at the top of the ticket, who's supposedly the sitting president right now, called all of us garbage. She herself, as well as the entire media and all the people on The View and MSNBC, all this garbage, literally is calling him a Nazi, Hitler, fascist. He's going to, all spreading lies. Project 2025, total lie. Saying he's going to use the military on his own citizens. Total lie. He's going to go after, he might go after you guys, but not in the way that you think. He might just actually open up an investigation as to why you guys are even on the air, because The View is literally the worst thing to ever hit celluloid in the history of American broadcasting. Just unbelievable lie after lie after lie. And here's the difference. The difference is Republicans don't have to edit anything. We don't have to try to pull the wool over anybody's eyes. It's there in plain black and white. Unlike you do this, you corrupt, lying fiends. Watch this. This is the official X account of Kamala's campaign headquarters. And they put out this post, which has now gotten, over 15,000 hearts and over 4,000 replies. I don't know how many views, probably a lot. And she only played the 10 seconds of him saying this. Listen, I'm going to hit play right on there so you can see it.
Let's put
only
her
10
with a
seconds.
rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it. When the guns are trained on her face.
She only played the 10 seconds and then said, let's put Liz Cheney with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels. Let's see how she feels about it when guns are trained on her face. No context, doing everything that he said they would do in every one of his rallies, time and time again, just like the Charlottesville, just like everything with Biden, just like everything in the past 6 months, the border bill, everything, saying he's violent, he's Hitler, he's a Nazi. They lie, and lie. They should just all become one big conglomerate and just call it DNN. Disinformation News Network. And now they're actually going to have the Arizona Attorney General investigate Trump's comments, which were completely taken out of context, as some sort of a violent threat or death threat. These are the people who are wasting your taxpayer dollars, my fellow Americans. You have a very clear choice on November 5th. And I pray to God that this channel has helped you see what nobody else will show you, that these guys are capital LADs, lion-ass degenerates. Watch this.
And Bram Resnick, the political anchor and reporter from our NBC affiliate in Phoenix, KPNX, joins us. Talk about this breaking news regarding Donald Trump's comments that he made about Liz Cheney in Arizona last night. The Attorney General is responding?
That's right. I just spoke to Attorney General Chris Mays about 2 hours ago for the taping of my Sunday show. She told me she had just gotten off the phone with her criminal division chief, and she was investigating whether what Donald Trump said about Liz Cheney constituted a death threat under Arizona law. I'll tell you, under Arizona law, it is illegal to make threats or intimidate someone. Can be charged as a Class 1 misdemeanor, Class 6 felony. Chris Mays told me they're looking into it. I asked her whether this was just political speech, free speech. She said we're checking to see if it crossed that line. But she also put it in the larger perspective. If you're here right now, you begin to understand how this place is ready for a high security event on Tuesday, an election. Our sheriff's office is talking about a no tolerance policy for protests. Chris Mays is activating all her agents. every law enforcement agency in the state is involved with protecting the vote, protecting voters. So that's, Chris Mays brought that into the conversation, that for Donald Trump to make these kinds of remarks at this time, such a really fraught and tense moment here in Maricopa County, is just bad.
No, I'll tell you what's bad, Mr. MSNBC lion-ass degenerate full of crap correspondent. What's bad is you guys keep thinking that the American people are stupid. You think we're garbage. You think we're not intelligent. You think we're Nazis. You think we're fascists. You've done nothing but spread misinformation and disinformation since day one. I'm not even going to play for you guys all the other clips that I found. And I'll give kudos and credit to Martha McCallum at Fox News, who was one of the only outlets that actually said, we listened to the entire conversation that he had with Tucker, and he was actually referring to the fact that most of these political leaders sit back in their cushy offices and order the sons and daughters of hardworking Americans to go out into battle. What he was saying was, yeah, he said the word barrels, let's see how she does with 9 barrels facing her face, and they just went and ran with that. But our American sons and daughters and servicemen and women, they get barrels pointed at their face every single time, or the threat of that, especially with your corrupt, awful, abysmal administration that has created havoc, bedlam across multiple regions across the world and created a hot war, a red hot white war with Russia, as we have now Vladimir Putin, who is having his personnel, his military commanders, start training in nuclear capacities. And instead of helping the situation, instead of actually expending those resources on things that matter to the American people, my fellow Americans, look at them. Look what they're spending your hard-earned taxpayer dollars on. Look what they're doing with all the funds and resources that are given to them. Even the FBI, the assistant FBI director, said, maybe we should look into this. This is awful. This is violent. This is awful. This is what they're doing. They're now opening up an investigation. God knows how much money, how many resources are going to be culled away from things that actually matter. And they're actually investigating this complete fabrication, this renewed hoax that after they face so much backlash over calling us garbage, after the lies and the absolute ceaseless barrage of pejoratives slung at us and anybody who wants to get our country back, they're just showing their desperation at whole new peak levels. Why? I just ask sincerely, why don't you guys ever want to solve problems? Why don't you guys ever talk about specificities within the cackling Kamala, lion-ass Kamala campaign? What is she going to do to help us afford gas, afford groceries? What is she going to do to make us feel safe? We want to take our kids to the park or take them to a museum in a major metropolitan area like Los Angeles, New York, Boston, Washington, D.C. I want to take my family to Washington, D.C. They haven't seen the Lincoln Memorial. They haven't seen Washington Monument. But I can't because crime has been absolutely out of control. Homelessness has been... Why don't you guys ever talk about solutions instead of flinging violent, vile, nasty lies on the American public every single day? My fellow Americans, you need to share this video. Share this with everybody you know. This is a bold-faced, foul lie, and they need to be held accountable. We can't take this stuff anymore. And if she wins, God forbid, if she wins on November 5th, it's going to be this night, day, afternoon, Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving, every single holiday, 365, 24/7. And I truly believe it is the end of our country as we know it. So please tap the thumbs up, share this with everybody, and I really can't wait to get your comments on this. Let me know in the comments down below. If you haven't seen these videos over here, check them out. Click on them right now. You got to check them out. Tap on my face to subscribe. It's actually free, and follow as you will. In the pinned comment is our free newsletter. It's absolutely free. All you got to do is give us your best email, sign up, and you're in. You never miss out. And as always, may God bless you, and may God bless America. I'll see you soon.